Over the past month, we've added new entities, new tools, new features, and new story. So, welcome to a new, slightly late devlog. I'm Isaac.
I'm Gunnar.
I'm Preston.
And this is our horror game, For the Pit. It's been a very busy month for the game, and if you're new and have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, here's a quick recap. You are the newest member of a secret society that worships a horrifying pit named Elijah. You need to track down lost people in a monster-filled forest, following the clues that person left behind, and then bring them back to home base so they can be fed to the pit. Slowly but surely.
Because AI is one of mankind's most frustrating and difficult things to work with.
We've been adding in more monsters and adding in a working shop system with upgrades and cool tools to help you out. So, you're here, we're here, let's quit horsing around and get into it. Last month, we finished the model for the tree spider. Problem was that this dude is frickin' massive, and so when it's chasing you, you can't see anything unless you look straight up. Encountering the spider should feel like,
oh! Great heavens! Tree spider.
So I used my gargantuan brain and quickly put together this animation where the spider will crouch down to your level and this animation where it'll chase you while crouched. Perfect. I also got to work on some other monsters. First was this one named Roadkill. The idea is that it'll spawn on the side of the road playing dead, but at a certain point in the night, it'll wake up and begin relentlessly guarding its territory. I was originally going in more of a weird alien rodent direction, but that wasn't really panning out. Next was this guy. And since he's not in game yet, I think I'll keep what he does a secret for now, but it's something that has been highly requested. Monsters aside, we wanted to spend this month tackling the game's economy. Currently, you'll pick up a lot of items in the forest, and once you've figured out which one's your targets, you're done and the items just sit in your inventory. So now, the player can sell those items to buy tools. We liked the idea that you'd buy and sell everything at a forest gift shop. It seemed on brand, and I thought it was important that the shopkeeper be pretty cool and mysterious, thinking of characters like the merchant from Resident Evil 4. So, what if we had a faceless shopkeeper? I quickly modeled this cute little gift shop, and then I threw in the only part of the shopkeeper that the player gets to see, his arms. He'll always be in the forest parking lot, and there you can sell him stuff and buy tools, which he'll push out to you under the shutter. All three of these characters are currently unfinished, especially the textures, but regardless, I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories for each of them. I also opted to tackle a revamp of the hideout, since the player will be coming back here after every mission. It went from this to this. Still definitely not done, but less of an eyesore. I then finally got to work on writing some story for this game and assign some personalities to everyone around the base. One of them's now the medium, aka the only one who can speak directly to Elijah. Or there's the rival, who thinks they're better than you in every way. I'm formatting the dialogue where each member will have something new to say after each mission to keep the game continuously fresh. There's some other characters, and I also plan to write dialogue for the shopkeeper, but that'll come later. I honestly found it pretty hard to strike the right balance between the dialogue being funny and being scary. So I'm hoping to collect some feedback on that in the next playtest. And as for the larger story, I want to keep it mostly under wraps for now, but I think I'm off to a good start. It should have a nice balance of horror and intrigue, with deeper secrets hidden for thorough players. And with that...
my time has come. You must continue your journey without me.
What are you... What?
A big part of our game is the investigation. Duh. Considering that the investigation mechanics will take up a good amount of the playtime, we wanted to fine-tune it even more. The first way we did this was by adding another wildcard clue to items. So instead of 3 clues, they now have 4. This alone didn't do much, but in conjunction with their new point system, this greatly improved investigation. To keep it short, any item that is connected to the target has 4 imaginary points, while items that are not have 0 to 2 points. Points are awarded for each clue that matches the target's description. This ensures that with enough skill, the player can get the item right every time. Later on, we will probably add more features to make it harder as you progress in the game. The last thing we wanted to change about the investigation was the tracking itself. The tattoo on the player's right... It's supposed to be the left. The tattoo on the player's left hand pulsates based on how close the player is to the area and if they are heading in the right direction. The system was heavily flawed. It was confusing, yet too easy, and worst of all, it was boring. My personal biggest flaw with it was that the player didn't even need to bring the hand up, since you can just listen to the audio cues, so why even bring it up it was bothering me. With this, I present the new system. The forest is now littered with footprints and handprints to give the player info on where the target went. And with this, a whole new function for the tattoo. Holding right click for a short time will flash the screen and brighten the general direction of where the next area is. Along with this, it also pings nearby clues for the player to check and follow. This ping mechanic, I call it, has a big cooldown, so it can't be spammed. It points the player in the right direction while also making them put in a little bit more effort to find the area. I really like this system, but to be honest, it hasn't been tested enough to give a conclusion yet. I can't tell you, the viewer, if it's bad or if it's golden like Frick. Oh yeah, the tree spider. The tree spider spawns in a random part of the map and sits in its idle state. When spawned in, webs will randomly generate between trees around the general area of the spider. Walking under the spider in its idle state will cause the player to get webbed up and start going into the spider's mouth. Here, the player can struggle and break free. This will make the spider enter its chase state. In the chase state, the spider moves its body down towards the ground and starts following the player. If the player is close enough, the spider will bite the player, dealing a humble amount of health. However, if the player moves far away enough from the spider will actually return back to its idle state. Remember the webs I talked about earlier? Yeah, if you walk into those, the spider will walk towards the area and search for you. Wait, there's one more thing. The game has an economy now. Items now have a sell value and can be sold at the gift shop. You can use the money you get to buy tools or passive upgrades. Passive upgrades consist of things like movement speed, defense, and backpack carry amount, along with some others. Tools are what's most important, as the player can buy and use flashlights, espresso for temporary speed boost, pizza for health, paint bucket for marking your tracks, and so many more.
Hey guys, it's me, Preston.
Back at it again in the Blanket Fort recording booth.
I've been busy making models for our game's tools. So busy, I was able to whip up 14 models in a matter of 3 hours. However, texturing takes a good bit longer. So far, I've fully finished 7 tools completely, textures and all. My process went something like this. I made the models for all the tools first, using a reference image fitting the look I wanted, keeping any technology around the year 2002. Hence, the Olympus FE230 camera. After all the models were done, I took the reference image and any others to try to replicate a similar layout and try to make it more visually consistent. Texturing for 3D models is still pretty new to me, so if you have any feedback or advice from what you've seen, make sure to let me know in the comments. These last couple of weeks I've found that I've been getting a lot more used to modeling and I've been enjoying it more. Inorganic models are a lot easier than organic models like a human being or a massive tree spider, so it's been a lot easier and a lot quicker of a process. Also, doing UVs for objects like these are a lot easier. Also, that rhymes. So to anybody learning Blender or just 3D modeling in general, I recommend beginning with non-organic objects. These are things like paint cans, tin cans, cans, trash cans, or even non-can related things. But lately, I've been a lot more proud of my work, and I definitely feel more confident in Blender as a program as a whole. And, this is the end of my segment. You know what that means. Goodbye. Ha, gotcha, Gunner. You thought you'd have to lower my goodbye!
With all these epic features being implemented, we're buckling down in preparation for a new playtest build. If you want to playtest and get a bunch of other cool rewards, check out our Patreon in the description. Every little bit helps us make this dream game into a reality. There's an old build already up for playtesting, and a new one's coming in the next 2 weeks. For the next month, we're going to be expanding even more on all the stuff you've seen. More tools, more monsters, more story, and changes to the game based on playtester feedback. If you want to chat with us in the meantime, join our Discord. And lastly, a huge shout out to our fantastic patrons, and a special thanks to Alex Amalur, Icarus Softpaw, Nized, Tibbers, and WatermelonZest. Thank you all so much,
And we'll see you soon.